Hello, Love 52. How are you? Here we are starting week 28. Right down there are some ducks. And so I decided I'd come down here and be near them. I've done this before. Now look, if it starts swelling right up in here, I hope it doesn't. But if it does and you're wondering what's wrong with Paul, what's wrong with this guy? Well, I was walking over there. I was coming from the bridge over there and I was looking down and I did not see, because I was looking down, this limb sticking straight across, and I walked right into it. My head rung for a second. So hopefully it doesn't swell. And if it does, I'll get some ice on it soon. Don't worry. But if it started getting weird and looking funky, I wanted you to at least know why. So look, this week we're talking about the relationship between love and submitting. Or submission. What I want to share with you is how I think that submitting to someone is a optional response to loving. We talked last week. I told you that I believe there's some prerequisites to submitting. I think that we need to, first of all, have our own thoughts, have our own opinions, our own beliefs, our own, feelings about things. And then we give concentration to the other person. And so we're giving them interest, time, energy, and attention, right? I mean, to really concentrate on somebody, we have to do that. And so we have our own thoughts. There's some self-confidence here. We have our own opinions. And then we consider the other person's opinion. And the only way to do that thoroughly and in a healthy way is to concentrate and get the big picture. That doesn't mean we agree. Agreeing ties in with submitting, but that all can only come after really giving our concentration to another person. I want to share something with you that I wrote many years ago because I was interested in this topic, right? Look, there's faiths out there, there's religions out there, maybe they're different doctrines or maybe they're different religions, but most of them do have scriptures or passages where it talks about submitting, and it talks about submitting to one another. It talks about submitting to others, and if you're learning about a faith or a religion and you start hearing about submission and you're thinking about it the way you define it, or that the way a lot of people define it out there, it doesn't sound very inviting, because a lot of times we think submitting means to just give in, to give our power away, to give our will to other people, to just let other people decide for us, just to be passive, or to be a slave to someone or something, and none of that sounds inviting, and are those examples of submitting? Well, probably. I mean, look up the word submit in the thesaurus or whatever. I like the old paperback thesauruses, but you can use Google, synonyms for submit, and you'll get a range of different meanings and different expressions of submit. And we're not talking about those. And my guess is, I don't know, but my guess is in religions, it's not really about giving over my willpower, but look, I'm not a theologian. I'm not, a person that did a lot of studies of those things. So, but I want to share with you something I wrote, oh golly, probably 16 years ago, maybe. I said that submission, it's an act of respecting. It can be an act of conforming, an act of assenting, an acquiescence. Therefore, it's giving attention and consideration to someone else. It's considering others worthy. It's deferential esteem, felt or shown towards another person. It is obedience or compliance at times. It can be acting in accordance with prevailing standards and customs. I think that one's huge. Submission is agreeing to something or someone only after giving thoughtful consideration. It is inward acceptance. It is also silent compliance without protest. Okay, so, sometimes we just give in to people or we're obedient to people, but inwardly we are rebelling. Maybe we just do it to appease people. Maybe when I was a kid, my parents told me to do something, I did it, but inwardly I was rebellious about it. Inwardly I was kind of ignoring them, but doing the act just to get them off my back, right? I think we've all done that, and I know my parents are watching this. This isn't new news. We've all done that. We've all just tried to appease people, and so appeasing, I guess, can be submitting, it's giving in, but that's unhealthy because there's remaining tension. But when there's an inward acceptance, when respect is a part of it, when I'm giving you respect and I'm acknowledging your worth and your words have worth and I'm considering them, that's all like prerequisite stuff. That's stuff that has to come before actual healthy submitting, right? And so then, let's see here. Requirements include a commitment to listen. This goes back to last week, concentration. I have to have a commitment to listen to you before I can submit. It's living with consideration of others. It's almost like this is an attitude. It's a life, it's a mindset that, okay, I'm going to have consideration for other people and I'm going to see other people as worthy. I'm going to live that way. And if I do it consistently, that's just going to be normal living for me. Looking at the interest of others. One must not obey immediately. One must not become a slave to others. In order to submit, one must be able to think for themselves and be committed to themselves. If one is unable to fulfill the requirements, they are not in submission, but rather slavery. Well, submission is an addition of quality and character. Not everyone is able to submit. Those who are fully dependent on others for esteem, for validation, and for feelings of achievement will be unable to achieve the benefits of submission, beneficial submission, and will fall into the system which has distorted and destroyed the true meaning of submission. There's this stuff, you got to be able to think for yourself. You got to be able to have your own opinions. You have to be able to believe in yourself. It's like this self-confidence stuff. In order to really concentrate on other people without just being persuaded, manipulated by other people. At the end there, it talked about, if you're someone who, is dependent on other people to make you feel important, significant, valuable. I changed the wording there because I referred to our 3 categories of psychological, emotional needs. If I'm dependent on other people to make me like me, to make me feel good about me, to make me feel important, significant, any of those things, then I'm not going to really be able to get the benefits of submitting, because the benefits are healthy interaction, healthy connection with people. Dependence is very unhealthy attachment and connection with people. So maybe this week, just pay attention. Pay attention to you. Pay attention, recognize if you have your own thoughts, your own feelings and opinions. Look, there's sometimes, if I go to a medical doctor, I'm going to listen to the medical doctor. I may have looked up things on Google. I may have done a little research. Why are my ears plugged, right? They've been plugged lately. Why are they plugged in? I can Google it. But if I'm going to walk into the doctor's office, I have respect for the training and the education that they have. And even though I have my own opinions, I'm going to defer to their expertise, right? I'm going to submit to what they say. And hopefully I'll follow through and do what they say. All right. The swelling did not happen, so that's good. Have your own thoughts. Pay attention to you. Give yourself interest, time, energy, and attention this week. And when you're interacting and engaging with other people, especially when it's differing opinions, I hope that you will listen and consider what they're saying, but don't be just quick to agree. Don't just give in. No, take it all in, get the big picture, and then you can figure if you agree or not. And if you disagree, chances are you can converse that, you can speak that or share that in a way that is healthy, that's not tension, that doesn't bring tension. Chances are, if you're using the 3 C's of communication that we've talked about, you can say it with clarity and it won't be emotionally driven. So, look, that's a little bit about submitting. And we'll talk a little bit later this week about it. It's not going to be every day. But I hope you're spreading love. I hope you're loving yourself. I hope you're accepting the love from other people. And when you're walking through places like this, look out for limbs. Spread love. Bye-bye.